You do not want to miss this episode. We're interviewing Scott Donnell. He's the founder of GravyStack and Dinner Table. Now, when you're an adult and you look back and you go, I wish I knew this about money when I was a kid, or I wish someone had taught that in schools. Well, Scott took that to the next level and has books, apps, how to do that, and has already helped over 7 million families. Let's dig into it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Control and Compound. I'm Darren Mitchell. Joining me as always, Christina White. Christina, how you doing?
Hi, Darren. I am doing great. Super excited to have Scott here today to learn about how we can teach our kids about finances. This is a sweet topic. I'm excited to learn more.
Scott, this is we're really looking forward to this. Christina, I've been talking about this for a while. I know you did some work with some friends of ours down in the U.S., and we couldn't wait to share it with the Canadian listeners. So tell us about your company. I know you got an Amazon best-selling book. I'm jealous. I looked up 4.9 stars, quite the rating on Amazon. So tell us about the company first.
Yeah. So our whole goal is to help families build true legacy. And to me, the definition of legacy is not like the Vanderbilts necessarily or the Rothschilds. That's not what I'm getting at. What legacy means: raising kids to blow by you in every way. It's as simple as that. If you can raise kids and grandkids and great grandkids to blow by you in their values, the depth of connection to the family, in their mindsets and skill sets and financial competencies, and if they are impacting the world greater than you and creating more value in the world, that's legacy, right? So we've been hunting the world to find the best families that we can find for the last 10 years. And we've learned a ton from these incredible families. And that's what really built dinnertable.com is here's the best strategies to put in your family so that your kids thrive, they have an unfair advantage, and you have an incredible family for generations to come. And it's not just about having money go between generations. It's more about what you leave in them than to them is the point of all this. Nothing's worse than an adult that is just handed a ton of stuff on a platter without the training. That can do unlimited harm. That's what happens when we die and give all our stuff to kids and grandkids. That's not legacy. 90% of that is pissed away anyway by the grandkids.
Yeah. You can see that second, third generation families with money, it's gone, and the kids get fancy cars and all kinds of problems. Yeah.
That's the problem. Yep. So money is a store of value. That's what we need to teach people and how to create it. Create value first. And if you can teach your kids to do that, then it doesn't matter what the number is that you leave them. It doesn't matter what your assets are when you're dead. Like they're ready. They're prepared for it. Nothing's worse than an adult waiting for their parents to die to get their stuff. Like that's a bad thing because then they don't risk. Then they don't create value. They won't take chances and grow and go through healthy struggles. It's just another version of lottery ticket syndrome. It's another version of imposter syndrome. And that's the problem that we have. So either parents don't plan ahead and it's literally like Lord of the Flies with their kids, which can cause harm, or the parents, their whole focus is paying for everything, providing everything, and never letting their kids struggle, and then trying to amass all this wealth to die with, and then they ruin their kids the other side. So the goal here is heritage over inheritance. That's the point.
Can you explain that? What do you mean by heritage over inheritance?
Your kids need heritage, not inheritance. They need a last name that means something. That will set them off in the world with both roots in your family and wings to soar. It's not about inheritance, right? It's about heritage. And so much of what we train on is we coach families on how do you build in the systems in the home to have the right family values that stick, to teach the financial competencies that stick, to get your kids an unfair advantage for the rest of their life, to create value everywhere they go. These are the kinds of things that parents have never been taught. They didn't even think about this stuff until we say it, because it took us millions of families to learn this, and schools aren't teaching it. Banks don't even care, by the way. So everyone's like, it's up to the banks to teach financial literacy. I'm like, banks make money when you're bad at banking. Like this is the opposite incentive.
True.
And then, parents have no roadmap for this. So our whole goal is like, hey, your biggest investment is your family. If you actually saw your family as your number one most important investment in your life, you'd make a lot of different decisions. And so that's what Dinner Table exists to do. We make family the most important investment. And it is the best thing for work and finances and relationships and success.
Absolutely. I love that. We always say, your number one investment is in you, but you're taking it to the next level, right? Like I would also love I've got a 14-year-old son and, you're right. You're absolutely right. My number one investment is in my family and me and my family. And there isn't education out there on it. I know this, like my son doesn't know much about the financial world at that age. And even when you get out of high school these days, you're not left with, they don't teach enough, that's for sure. And as a parent, you're kind of relying on, I guess, TikTok these days to teach them mostly about finances, which who knows what's going to come out in a video on TikTok, right? It's not always right.
That's right. That's right.
And at what age do you start teaching kids about money?
From birth. I mean, this stuff starts early, you guys. Like it's never too late. Let me say this first. People, the number one question I get asked is, please help me teach my kids about money. Do you know what the second top question I get is this? Where were you 20 years ago? It's too late for me. My kids are grown. They already are entitled. They're already victim mindset. They're already lazy. They're already anxious. They're spoiled. I ruined it. Or I'm divorced. I have business problems. I have money issues. I hate my in-laws. Right? Like people discredit themselves all the time thinking that they're not qualified to have an incredible legacy. And what I tell people is it does not matter when you start this stuff. It all goes in the right direction. If you just put in the strategies, our 18 strategies of legacy, it can actually revitalize the past. Like everything that's happened in your past leading up to today is the raw material for your future legacy. So setbacks in your life that you think ruin your legacy are actually setups for an incredible legacy. Okay? Nothing's actually more powerful than a kid who was experiencing life one way where the light bulb shifts and all of a sudden they're creating value everywhere they go in their teens. It's a huge win when you just start implementing the strategies. There's just a recipe to it. So you just put in the recipe and you watch this stuff start to go in the right direction. That's what we're trying to teach people. Because everyone thinks that it's like too late for them or they don't have the perfect life. I'm here to tell you guys, I've worked with 7 million families and none of them have it all right. Like there's crazy in every family. I don't care how good you are. There's crazy everywhere. And the number one thing that families have to do is say, yep, we have crazy too. So we're just going to start working on the right stuff to start putting together these legacy strategies and move in the right direction. It doesn't matter what's happened to you. Your setbacks are setups for the future. Like, so let's just go. Like, let's start learning and growing and building deeper relationships and helping our kids thrive. It's that simple. But you have to change your mindset here because most parents, here's what happens. They go, my job as a parent is to give my kids all the things I never had growing up. My job is to provide for them all the things that I wish I had. So they end up paying for everything and giving them, spending all this money to give them stuff and experiences and things, never letting the kids actually grow and learn. And then they say, well, I just want my kids to never have to deal with any of the problems I had coming up. Well, what made you you? Right, guys? It's like we are defined by the things that we overcome and the things that we've grown in. If we didn't have pressures and things in our lives that were healthy struggles, we would never be diamonds. All right? We'd never reach the masterpieces that we were designed to become. And so a lot of what we try to teach parents is, hey, there are things called healthy struggles. And if you don't let your kids go through the healthy struggles to learn capabilities and confidence and creating value out of it, then they will have nightmares later, like way worse problems. So healthy struggles are like emotional skills and practical skills and relational skills and business skills and financial skills. It's like put your kids in these systems and they will grow and thrive and they will love you for it. Okay? And by the way, healthy struggles are not trauma. They're not tough love. They're not like neglect and abuse. Like that's traumatic. Don't do that. But healthy struggles are like our home economy system, right? teaching kids to create value in the 3 buckets. Like those are the kinds of things that we teach that put them in processes to thrive. It's like an unfair advantage for the rest of their life while not breaking the relationship. You actually go deeper in the family bonds.
So let me ask you a question that I'm guessing you've been asked a million times. Yeah, Scott, but um, housing is so expensive. My kid had this, and now I'm just doing this for him or her. But I wish someone had helped me buy my first house, car, business. Go down the list. How many butts do you get from parents when you're trying to work through this?
Oh, a million objections. A million. Everybody, they think that love is paying for everything. And I think that you have to be careful there, because when money is used to bribe, coerce, or buy your children's love, you don't have the depth of actual relationship that you wanted in the first place. So many families do this. They use money and stuff to buy and bribe and coerce their kids and try to get their love, especially in co-parenting situations. Kids go to mom's house, mom bribes them so that they have a better time than they're at their dad's. Dad tries to one up when they're there and buy and coerce and buy the love, and it's back and forth and back and forth. It's like a tornado of entitlement everywhere they go. And this happens in all homes. They just don't realize what's going on. And so what we're not saying is you just like cut them off and never do anything. And it's like, Lord of the Flies. But what you got to do is create systems, right? So, what we like to say is without expenses that kids are in charge of, they'll never have a motive to earn. They'll just keep nagging you for more. Okay? That's the core of what we teach in terms of like in the home. So what we say is the 3 E's. Instead of allowance, instead of chores aren't bad, but chores are mixed up. Because here's what happens. Parents go, oh, I give my kids an allowance, which is basically socialism. Okay? It's codependency. You're giving kids money every week for existing. That does not match the real world. It gives them the wrong identity around what money is. Money is a store of value. You don't just get it by existing. So what you do, and then chores don't work because half those chores you should never pay for, right? Parents have conflict over chores all the time with their kids. They're constantly reminding them, they're constantly battling them, nagging, exhaustion, like behavior issues around it. Half those chores you should never pay for. We call those expectations. That's your role in the home, guys, right? And then the other half of the chores parents give, you should be paying for those so that your kids can learn to create value by doing the gigs. We call them gigs, right? So, and then the worst is when parents are like, yeah, I don't pay my kids allowance. Don't worry. I make them do all the chores like they're told. Okay, but now you're still paying for everything and they're learning nothing about financial skills. There's your problem. Okay. So if you do the 3 E's, like we set this up, your kids start to learn budgeting, delayed gratification, the price of goods, trade-offs between goods, and actually like how to earn. So you do the 3 E's: expectations, expenses, and extra pay gigs. That's the 3 E's. Okay. This is like the trademark of in the home teaching money. Number 1, expectations. The things that they'll never get paid to do. It's just their role in the family. Hey, if you want to keep our last name, you're going to do these things. It's like you don't ever pay your kids to make their bed and clean their room and dishes and trash and getting their homework done first when they get home from school, right? Those are expectations in the home, right? Then you have the second E, expenses. Without expenses, you're still going to have conflict with your kids to do any of the gigs and do anything to help or create value. So expenses, we have 12 of them that you start giving when they're 5 or 6 years old, all the way up to driver's license. Starts with toys, games, trinkets, and then you go into like sports equipment, social outings with their friends, trips, social trips. Birthday presents is a great one. If they're going to get birthday parties, they should buy the present. My 7-year-old Reagan just bought the present for the birthday party a few weeks ago. She was the only kid at the party that bought the present. Every other kid's parents bought it signed the kid just signed it and chucked it on the table. They didn't even know what it was. And they never even opened the presents at the party. But halfway through our party, Reagan comes up to me with the birthday boy, Dawson, our friend. And she's like, can he open my present now? I want to see his face.
Oh.
So they sit down in the middle of the ninja gym and he opens her present and he's beaming from ear to ear, big hug. She's like on fire. And all the other parents are like, what the heck just happened? And I'm like, we're teaching Reagan generosity. She earned the money. See, here's the issue. You can't give your kids money to go spend and think that they're learning budgeting. They have to earn the money and feel the pinch of spending. They have to earn the money and feel like what it is to give it away generously. That's the only way to teach generosity. Same with saving. How are they going to save your money you gave them? They have no value created to get it. That's the whole point of this, okay? So if parents pass off hundreds of dollars of these expenses every month, now they can take that money, throw it right into gigs, which is our extra pay gigs. Tons of things, like we call them action gigs and brain gigs. Action gigs are things around the house that they do with their hands and feet. You would consider those some chores, but because they're paid, now there's a ton that the kids want to do. Way more than the simple list of chores. I mean, these kids are doing yard work, sweeping the garage, making meals, cleaning bathrooms, stuff with the pool, stuff with the pets, washing windows. They're coming to you and they're like, hey, mom, I just see this stuff that needs to be fixed and cleaned. I'd love to do this as a gig. They're literally coming to you because now they have expenses and a motive to earn. Could you imagine? No more conflict over chores. Your kids never ask you for money and stuff because they know exactly where to go to earn. That's the change that we want to see in every family in America, because that's a massive win in the home. So brain gigs are like podcasts, TED Talks, PragerU videos, things that are books, articles, things that are really good for them to know that aren't taught in schools that you'd pay a few bucks for them to learn and tell you what they're going to do to apply it to their life right now. Those are brain gigs. Grandparents love giving their grandkids brain gigs. It's such a powerful way to teach them, like a village raising the kid around the dinner table. That's where this stuff happens. But then you go into all of our other brain gigs that are teaching them practical skills. So here's one. What about planning the next family trip? Instead of you as the parent planning the trip, what if your 10 or 12-year-old or 8-year-old did it? What if they got 3 flights, 3 hotels? Where are we going to eat? What are we going to do? And they have a budget. By the way, they're going to save you over $1,000 when they do that. And they're going to own the trip and love the trip way more because they planned it. And they're learning all these skills about flights and travel and booking and planning and price sensitivity. They're learning all of it, right? Like we have 100 of those. And so we just throw them right there into our brain gigs list and parents go, oh, this is brilliant. Bink, the subscription hunt. I want my kids canceling all my extra subscriptions I didn't realize I was paying for. And the kids are getting paid to do these things, and it just helps create value in the home. This is how you give kids an unfair advantage for the rest of their life. There you go. That's the masterclass.
No, it sounds amazing. Like, and I love what you're doing, and getting the kids to do it obviously makes sense because kids learn differently, right? All kids learn differently. They have to be hands-on. Some, listen, there's all different ways.
If anyone's listening right now to this and they're like, my kids don't even listen to me half the time, what do? You need other mentors in your kids' lives that will reinforce what you care about most. We call this the teenage hack. Every teenager lets go of mom and dad's hand and they go, I need to figure this one out for myself. What I believe, my values and mindsets. If you set up the first 10 to 12 years, like they're going to reach back out for your hand in adulthood. Don't worry. Okay. But you've got to put in place other people that they respect, that they trust, that are reinforcing what you care about most to them. You want your teenagers coming to you and being like, I just learned this incredible thing. And you're like, in the back of your mind, you're like, I've been telling you this for 10 years. You have to swallow your pride and say, that's awesome, buddy. Tell me more. I want to learn everything you just learned. This is incredible. You need people in their life to do that, because dinner views and getting other people around your kids that can advise and coach and mentor and counsel them is literally gold for your family legacy. It's gold.
Wow. All right. Scott Donnell, incredible podcast. Thanks so much for your time, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching this episode of Control and Compound. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you never miss a new episode. And if you're ready to learn more, head to our website, controlandcompound.com. The link's below.